Pierre Nkurunziza was born on 18 December 1963. He was a Burundian politician. He was elected as President of Burundi in 2005. In other words, he had been President of Burundi from 2005 till his death today. Before his election, Burundi was the chairman of the National Council for the Defense of Democracy Forces for the Defense of Democracy (CNDD-FDD). In 2015, he was controversially nominated by his party for a third term in office. Supporters and opponents of Nkurunziza disagreed as to whether it was legal for him to run again, and protests followed. More than 2 months of anti-Nkurunziza protests, which were often violently repressed, left at least 100 dead. On 13 May 2015, a coup attempt against Nkurunziza occurred while he was out of the country. The coup leader, Godefroid Niyombare, claimed to have ousted Nkurunziza, but Nkurunziza loyalists disputed the claim. Facing resistance from Nkurunziza loyalists, the coup collapsed and forces loyal to Nkurunziza appeared to be back in full control by 15 May. Independent media was shut down and many opponents fled, joining an exodus of more than 400,000 Burundians. Amidst an opposition boycott, Nkurunziza was re-elected to a third term in the July 2015 presidential election. On 7 June 2018, Nkurunziza announced that he would not seek another term when his current term ends in 2020. Nkurunziza was born in 1963 in Burundi's capital city of Bujumbura. He was raised in the province of Ngozi in northern Burundi. His father, ousted Nabisha, was a Catholic Hutu connected with the royal family. His mother was a Protestant Tutsi assistant nurse. Nabisha was enlisted to the ranks of the pro-independence UPRONA party and elected to the Parliament of Burundi in 1965, later becoming governor of 2 provinces before being killed in 1972 during the Burundian genocide of 1972 when ethnic violence claimed the lives of between 80,000 and 210,000 Burundians. Nkurunziza attended primary school in Ngozi and pursued secondary education at Athene in Gitega. He later attended the Institut d'éducation physique et des sports (IEPS) at the University of Burundi in the late 1980s and graduated in 1990 after obtaining his degree in sports education. Before the civil war broke out, he became a sports professor at Lycée de Muramvya in 1991 while still studying psychology and pedagogy. Nkurunziza became a teacher and assistant lecturer at the University of Burundi in 1992. He also began to teach courses at the Institut Supérieur des Cadres Militaires (ISCAM). In 1995, he was threatened and joined the CNDD-FDD when hundreds of Hutu students were killed or forced to flee. After rising through the ranks, Nkurunziza was appointed Deputy Secretary-General of the CNDD-FDD in 1998. In the late 1990s, he was condemned to death by court and trial in absentia. In 2001, he was elected chairman. There was a split in the group in late 2001. He was re-elected chairman in August 2004. During the Burundian Civil War, Nkurunziza is said to have survived a near-death experience. He was wounded several times in the war and was given the nickname Pitta. Beginning in late 2003 and after the ceasefire agreement, he was appointed Minister for Good Governance in the transitional government of President Domitian Ndayizeye. Following a series of CNDD-FDD victories in elections held during June and July 2005, Nkurunziza was nominated as the party's presidential candidate. He was elected president by members of parliament acting as an electoral college with a vote of 151 to 162 on 19 August 2005 and took office on 26 August 2005. He was re-elected in 2010 with more than 91% of the vote amidst an opposition boycott and sworn in for his second term on August 26, 2010. In March 2014, Nkurunziza banned jogging, due to fears it was being used as a cover for subversion. According to the BBC, the tradition of Saturday morning runs started during Burundi's long years of ethnic conflict, as residents in the city of Bujumbura, where the surrounding hills were home to armed militants before 2005, would try to vent their fear and frustration and claustrophobia, by running, often in a group. The same month, 21 supporters of the opposition Movement for Solidarity and Democracy (MSD) party were sentenced to life in prison for using jogging as a way to organize an illegal demonstration that turned violent. Nkurunziza was one of 7 siblings. 2 of his siblings were killed after civil war erupted in 1993, and 3 others died while fighting in the CNDD-FDD. Only one of his siblings, a sister, is alive today. He married his wife in 1994 and is the father of 2 sons. Nkurunziza described himself as a born-again Christian, though his rule has involved severely restricting religious freedoms for evangelical Christians and other groups. Nkurunziza enjoyed playing football and cycling. He began playing football at the age of 5, and played in a team at secondary school and his university. As a university physical education teacher, Nkurunziza used his football talents as a coach of Union Sporting, a first-division club side. As president, he recalled some of his former players to form a new team of veterans, Hallelujah FC. In 2004, when he was a state minister, Nkurunziza created a soccer academy which is home to nearly 300 kids learning skills in various training centers across the country. Nkurunziza had his own football team, Hallelujah FC, which he traveled Burundi with. In May 2015, Africa Confidential reported that Nkurunziza was said to be preoccupied by his football club, had difficulty concentrating for long periods, and believed that he was chosen by God to rule Burundi. In the national press, his mental health is publicly questioned. Nkurunziza was also responsible of the persistence of extrajudicial executions, arbitrary arrests and detentions, enforced disappearances, torture and cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment and sexual violence in Burundi since April 2015 by the Imbonerakure. In September 2019, a UN committee concluded that President Pierre Nkurunziza was personally accountable for serious violations. President Nkurunziza has been awarded several prizes and other honorific distinctions to recognize his endeavors. The awards include Prix Pour la Paix awarded to him by Accord in Durban in June 2006, Oscar de Paix awarded by Assis Pax International, and Honoris Causa Ph.D. awarded to him by Latin University of Theology in California. In September 2007, the Interfaith Peace Building recognized his efforts. The Greenbelt Burundi also recognized his efforts in the protection of the environment. The award was dedicated to Mwezi Gasabo, a king of Burundi who refused to scorch the Kibera forest in order to track down his opponents. The United Nations Commission on Peace Consolidation in Burundi decorated him with a Peace Award. In August 2009 in Nairobi he was awarded the Model Leader for a New Africa Award by AFREG, African Forum on Religion and Government, a Florida-based religious organization with a sub-office in Accra, Ghana. Nkurunziza is the first African president to be awarded with such a distinction on the continent. In September 2010, the India-based Unity International Foundation honored Nkurunziza with the Rising Star of Africa Award after Indian authorities found him to be a role model in peace consolidation and development for the whole of Africa. In October 2011 in Monaco, the Peace and Sports International organization granted to Nkurunziza an award for having made sports a tool for reconciliation in his country. Source: Wikipedia. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.